Hello and welcome back. So now in this video we're going to talk how components behaves when we nest them into each other and what's the reason behind making the components. Okay, for example, here we have some pages. For example, you can see that the app.js, and we can have multiple pages like that, the class comp, and absolutely we are able to use them appropriately. But the talk of the table is why we have multiple pages, multiple components. It's not like having multiple pages, it's like having multiple components. So what is a component actually? In the React, everything of, in a browser we see everything, every piece of the content we see in the browser comes from a component ultimately. So each component can be any part of a page. So in a single page you can have, so how we can actually use the benefit of the components, it is very simple. For example, we have this app.js as a main component, so no problem. We can use the class component inside the app.js component and the app.js component inside the class components. That's another thing. This way is not very efficient if we actually render the component again and again, but yeah, it's not bad. But the way I did here, I had to make change in the public index.html file. That's why I call it not efficient, because this is not a good way to make any change in the index.html file. So I had to make two more divs, which is not good, because we should not even do anything in index.html unless we need it very well, because by now we can get the class component data and anything we want in the app.js, the same component. So I'm going here again, and what I'm doing is simply here adding a line break. Okay, so now first of all, as we imported the class component data, first of all, we've actually exported that. And then we've imported it in the index.js file. Here, you can see that, the class component. Now, we need to get this importing in the app.js file. So, first of all, I'm going here to import that class component. So, import, and what we're actually importing. Now, here we need to use this way, and from where I'm going to import it from the / and class com. Okay, that's not bad, but the thing is, why I added this curly braces, we already discussed about it. This is the default application we are exporting, but here we are exporting the class. We are not exporting the default thing. So maybe we can have multiple classes in a single component. We would talk about that later too. So because we are exporting this specific class, so we need to mention that we are importing what? We are importing the class com from the / com. Ultimately it's .js, but we do not need to mention that. Now here, wherever we want to use the data of the class com, we need to use it by the way we want. So here I'm calling this, sorry, this is not the way we use it. We actually use this in this way, class com, and saving it, and now this is awesome. Now because we just called the class comp here, at the top of the class comp I'm mentioning something like h2, and here we are writing the nested class component starts from here.